2.
Hi guys, welcome to Bar Exam. I'm your host, Allie Rayner, and I am here with the Bar Exam crew. We've got Mr. Marcus in the building. What's up, Mr. Marcus?
Yo, what up, what up, what up?
What up? And then we also have Eric G in the building as well. Hello, Eric.
What's the deal, y'all? How y'all doing?
What's up? Okay, so this week, coming before the bar, we're discussing Kendrick Lamar revealing that he'll be the headliner for the upcoming 2025 Super Bowl, okay? And we already know that he performed with Dr. Dre in 2022 with hits like Mad City and All Right. And then this year he had that absolutely viral song, Not Like Us. And so it's got a lot of people wondering what the set list will be. But just as we got to thinking about that, he decided to drop a new song that at the moment is untitled, but the internet seems to have found a couple names for it. So either Black Forces or Watch the Party Die, either one. Right now he just dropped that one. So we're all kind of dissecting the bar. So we figured why not dissect it here on Bar Exam, the place for it. So I don't know where we should start first. Maybe we should start with the song first and then go into the Super Bowl announcement.
That sounds good with me.
Okay, cool. All right. So this song, I found it as Watch the Party Die. I guess, yeah, you can call it whatever you want, Black Forces. I guess at the moment it's still untitled. But he's definitely getting into his conscious bag with this one. You know, we already know Kendrick loves that arena. But this one, I think, for me, was a little bit confusing because I felt like he was always the type to definitely point out problems in Black culture. But I never really thought of him as the person to be like, we should just eliminate all the problems. So as like, even if that means using violence. So that's where I was just a little bit confused about it. So I don't know if the fellas got a different, a different interpretation of it. But the first verse goes, I think it's time to watch the party die. This shit done got too wicked to apologize. It's different. Get them whacked and disqualified. We even kill the killers because they like taking innocent lives. Burn a whole village. We start over. It's really that time. Why reason with these niggas if they can't see the future first? Why argue with these clowns if the circus is well at work? Just walk that man down. That'll do everyone a solid. It's love, but tough love sometimes got to result in violence. If you parade in gluttony without giving truth to the youth, the graveyard is company. Just tell us what casket to choose. So I don't know. Did you guys take that as like him really saying that like these people need to die or be eliminated? Like I'm a little bit confused at that part. Is he just saying that we need to put that to rest? What do you guys think?
Without taking those lines like super literal.
Okay.
Sounds like Kendrick is kind of fed up with a lot of shit.
Mm-hmm.
To me. He goes on in that verse. They party more than bitches. Tell me, what are you working for? They glorify scamming. You get chipped over this credit card. Influencers talk down because I'm not with the basic shit. But they don't hate me. They hate the man that I represent. Like he's going into a lot of like current shit as far as the voices that we hear, as far as the people that like to critique, and then he's going into the popular shit that a lot of people are doing right now, a lot of the scamming shit. It's kind of a double meaning to me there, but I mean, he's given up a lot of shit that he is kind of fed up with at the moment, and that's why I don't like when like people at first said that this was like about Drake. If you really, really listen to it, it's not really about Drake. It's really a blanket statement for, it feels like a lot of shit that he's been wanting to say for a while, but he hasn't had the medium or the way to get it off in the way that he knows that a lot of people are always going to hear when Kendrick says something, but this Drake beef definitely put more ears on everything that he's doing. So now he has an even bigger leg to stand on when he makes these statements. because a lot more people are going to hear that shit. A lot more people are going to talk about it. And it's going to be a real thing that's going to be a debatable conversation in these rap circles. That's why it's happening right now.
Yeah, it definitely is. And I kind of understand why they thought that this was about Drake, though, because in verse 2, it really does seem that he's still shooting at Drake. I don't know, with lines like, I think it's time to watch the party die. Street niggas and the corporate guys, the rappers that report the lies. I need they families mortified. And we know that, like, he had a whole song, airing out Drake to his family. And then he goes on, we can do life without him, get their bodies organized. Tell me if you oblige. No more pillow talking, jump start and neighborhood wars, dirty macking bitches because your spirit is insecure. The flashy nigga with nasty decisions using money as a backbone. I want his head cracked before he's back home. So, like, that to me, because people do say a lot of times in the industry that they feel as though Drake has done a lot of dirty macking to other artists that he's worked with in the past. Like that moment with honestly, the moment that really started all of this, Future and Metro going in on him, and they were all saying that had started with, like, supposedly Drake was talking to one of Future's girls. They even brought up in during the middle of the entire beef, that he once decided to sleep with one of Wayne's girls when Wayne was locked up. So that's why I kind of thought that this might be shots towards Drake. But do you think it's more of, like, guys who are like him? Like, are you saying, like, it's just because he is Drake is more of, like, a symbol for all of those people, and so, like, I guess anybody can get it, kind of a thing?
That's kind of how I feel, and the only or other reason I feel like that is because Kendrick basically told us that, like, no more subliminals with him, like, in the past. Like, he's kind of already put that out. So to me, it would feel a little contradictory if he were to go back on that and start doing subliminals again. Like, no, you've already said his name enough. If you want to say his name, then just continue to say his name. Like, you don't need to hide behind this subliminal thing. Like, that's over with now.
Got
Like,
you.
we are way past the point of subliminals with both of them two respectively.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
At least we should be. So I think that's a step backward if Kendrick is taking shots but not putting a name on it. If he is talking about somebody specific, if he's again, which I kind of felt like it was more of a blanket statement. So because of that, I kind of feel like it's fair game.
Okay.
I
Marcus,
also
what do you think?
like. I feel like Drake is the leader of that group of individuals. You know, he's navigated the industry for over 10 years, 10 years plus. You know, of mixing, mingling, doing what I want to when I want to, not really having anything kind of come back on him. And, you know, is he this? Is he that? He's shown love to artists. You know, he has other artists vouch for him. You know, he hasn't done bad business in an artist way. And you've never heard Drake's name with bad business. You might have heard him like, oh, he did something like you said with the dirty macking, but business wise, he's always looked out, cashed out, and made made artists better in a financial way where he never snaked anybody in that sense. So he was always, I don't want to say held to a higher standard. He was just always thought he was good in these streets because of it, you know. Now Kendrick is exposed all of his flaws, all of the weaknesses that he had, you know, and Kendrick also had a big enough voice to say the things that might have been true that a lesser name wouldn't have said. But this is I don't know, because as much as I like the song and I'm cool with, like, I'm not a Kendrick hater, but I'm also not a Drake stan either. But I'm also just sick and tired of Kendrick riding this wave that he's never rode before. And it's all at the expense of Drake, you know. So if Kendrick, because we're going to talk about it later on with the show, and you know what this show could look like, but we've seen it already.
Yeah, with the Amazon show.
Now I said this on Facebook like 3 like or 2 when it got dropped. We've seen if Kendrick never did the pop out, right? If that never happened and the pop out was done at the Super Bowl, Drake could never recover from that, and that goes down as the greatest moment in hip hop history, and it just is what it is. Like that's a nail head shot, that's a TKO. That's a B Rabbit moment on 8 Mile. Like there's no response that could ever happen if the pop out show happened on the Super Bowl like that, and especially with every West Coast but because we've already seen that show and that's already happened. And then look at the song that we have right now with Kendrick. Kendrick is going super conscious to the point where people are like, what did he mean in dissecting what he thought, which is what his fans already did in his main, but it was never on this level. So he's headed down a path that is early stages of Kanye. Meaning, like, we're with you right now, but you say the wrong thing, the wrong bar, the wrong misinterpret, and it just, you know, like I always say, the large print giveth and the fine print take it away. And like Kendrick is because he's not wrong in what he's saying, but how he's saying it, and you don't know who he's saying it to or about, you know, is kind of what Eric spoke of. It's not about Drake. It's just Drake fits the profile right now. But Drake fits the profile of a lot of other niggas too. It's a lot of people that Drake profile fits. So who is Kendrick talking about? Kendrick doesn't have to talk about anybody. He could be talking about 3 or 4 different people at the same time.
You know, the most interesting thing about Kendrick though is that, to me, everything that he does is extremely intentional. So there's a part in the song where he actually takes some bars out. It's right at the beginning of the 3rd verse. He goes, sometimes I wonder what Lecrae would do. Fuck these niggas up or show them just what prayer do. I want to be empathetic, my heart like D1, but I will.
Right.
It's time to get these devils out the way. Heavy metals on my sword. We settle disputes today. The ghetto Hollywood divorce. But it's like, what is that part that he said right before I will? He said some names or something in there that was very intentional that he took out on purpose. And I'm very curious to see. I don't know what he said there, but I'm intrigued by it.
Me too. I saw some people saying that, like, they felt like it had to be, like you were saying, somebody's name and then maybe something like someone's son, because D1, like, it rhymes. But I
heard that too.
Yeah, I don't know who it could possibly be for. So I don't know. I wonder why though. Like you said, it has to be absolutely intentional. But I wonder, like, why? Like, who does he want us just guessing and putting our own interpretation to it, or will he finally one day reveal it though?
That's exactly what he wants you to do.
Yes.
He wants you to guess and figure out what he said there.
But it seems so impossible because I'm like, I can't think of anybody. I don't know. Except for Drake. That's the only person that we've seen him been beefing with. So it's kind of hard to, like, put someone else in that spot. I don't know.
And then it's just one of those things where you kind of, like, if you're a real lyricist, you can kind of sort of piece together what he's saying, but you're never really going to be able to know unless you just ask it straight out of his mouth, and he's never going to tell you. So that's I think that's the beautiful thing about it. We're never going to know what he said there.
True. To me, that just messes me up. I hate that. I would rather.
I hate it. I hate it too, but I understand it.
But in that kind of the allure of Kendrick, what did he say? Who did he mean? What is going on?
Yeah.
Is we're gonna die 2 years from now. Kendrick spoke this. He knew it. Okay, that nigga didn't know. No, we're not even gonna do that right now. That nigga didn't know.
Somebody on TikTok is gonna break it down brilliantly, and they're gonna get it right, and they're never ever gonna know.
Right?
Yeah. Isn't that old tip? How are they gonna know? How are they gonna know? They're never gonna know.
And that'll happen too, because that happened. Don Cannon lied virtually directly in my face one time. This is why I say virtually, because it happened on Twitter. But
okay.
I know that he was using the vocal sound effects from Madden, either 2001 or 2002 on the PlayStation. Because there was a dude named Gannon that played on the Raiders. He was their quarterback.
Yeah, the Rich Gannon.
And whenever they would snap the ball to him, it would go Gannon. And it was the dude, who announced with John Madden. I forgot the guy's name that he announced with, but it was the exact same voice. And I was like, wait a minute, he just changed Gannon to Cannon, but it's the same sound clip. And then there's a part where he uses step back, and that's a football play. You know what I'm saying? When the quarterback snaps, he steps back, and the guy would say it. And I was like, he got his sound effects from Madden. And so I said it to him on Twitter one day. I was like, Don Cannon, I know where you got your sound effects from. He was like, where? I was like, you got them from Madden. And he was like, nope, good try. And I was like, nigga, you're lying to me. I know you got them from Madden. So yes, if a TikTok nigga figures out Kendrick's bars, he will get lied to and be like, nah, that ain't it. Even, yes, that was it. So, but Marcus, I got a question for you though. And this kind of goes into the Super Bowl thing, and I want everybody's opinion on this, but you said it first. So now you said basically if the pop out didn't happen, then he could do that at the Super Bowl and then it would be amazing and all of that, right? But since we got the pop out, that what could he do at the Super Bowl? We've already seen it basically, right?
Correct.
My question is, do y'all think he does not like us at the Super Bowl? And the reason I say that is because think about it. Is Kendrick Lamar really going to call Drake a pedophile at the Super Bowl?
Marcus, I'll let you go first.
That's beyond hip hop beef. This is the Super Bowl, the most watched thing on TV every year. You know what I'm saying?
I kind of already alluded this to Shane, so yeah, you can go ahead.
You know what I mean? Right. Like, is Kendrick gonna even perform that song at the or does he have to because it's the biggest song?
No. So I mean, it's 49-51. However you want to slice it. If he should perform it or if he doesn't perform it, you can make the case either way. On it. It's the song. It's the elephant in the room. We'll call it that. We know why he's there. It's because of Not Like Us. He doesn't have to perform Not Like Us for the Super Bowl. He's already there because of Not Like Us. My question is for Kendrick is it's twofold. It's bigger because I feel like it should have went to Lil Wayne in New Orleans. I think that I don't understand the politics of how that didn't happen. And it's not even about Kendrick at this point bringing Lil Wayne out. That's more of a slap in the face to me or to Wayne, so, and Wayne was already the interview since it came out. He was kind of lobbying for this more than we've seen him lobby for anything in past. I've never seen him say oh yeah, I really want this. I've never seen Wayne go out for something that he couldn't necessarily get. So that was one. Second, and I mean this respectfully. Catalog today, and remember, considering what we've seen, Eric went down, or no, I'm sorry, Ali already said, we've seen Kendrick with Dr. Dre perform at the Super Bowl already, where he did, creatively. I don't necessarily know if Kendrick can rock a Super Bowl show in 2024 with what we want to hear and what we want to see creatively, respectfully. Now, can he do it? Absolutely. I'm not saying he's incapable. We just don't know what that's going to look like. Now, if Kendrick had never been at a Super Bowl, you're like, oh, he has to perform these classics and he has to perform this and he has to go, but we've already seen Kendrick at a Super Bowl and we've already seen Kendrick at the pop out do all this and bring things that are not. So, I mean, what does he do now in New Orleans that's a Kendrick Lamar show? Okay. Like what? This is going to sound so goddamn stupid. But the only thing that I think he could really do is if, let's just say, him and Drake did squash it and he did like not like us and Drake did it with him. Like it's that
No
that's
way.
how stupid that's how big of the moment it is. Like what can Kendrick really do? And I mean that, like what and let me rephrase. What can he do that we would want to see that we haven't seen already? I'm not saying I don't want to repeat her. So tell me what does the Kendrick Lamar, and we've seen horrible Super Bowl shows or creative super that just didn't miss. And this is the unfortunate. If Kendrick misses at the Super Bowl, we potentially could go down a stretch where that might be the last hip hop Super Bowl. Or then it goes. Let me rephrase. It goes safer. You'll get a Post Malone. You'll get people Jelly Roll. You'll get people that we don't want to see. Hey, and shout out to Jelly Roll too, because I saw this thing. It said Jelly Roll is the Whitney Houston to men who have forklift certifications. And that's why he was even on my, like, I saw that and I was like, yo, that's wild. But
I ain't gonna hit on Jelly Roll because I didn't know that he was like around like mad hip hop legends like back in the day. Like I had no idea.
Jelly Roll is what we wanted from Post Malone.
Yeah.
Right.
If there's no Post Malone and we had Jelly Roll or Jelly Roll was Post Malone, we would never. It would be the biggest white crossover rapper since Kid Rock, possibly bigger.
Yeah. So going back to everything that you just said, because there's a couple of ways to break that down. So the first thing, as far as him performing Not Like Us, I'm going to agree with you. I don't think he has to perform like Not Like Us because he's already there because of it. This is what I told Shane that I think is going to happen. I think he is going to perform Not Like Us. But I think it's, number one, it's going to be heavily edited if he does perform it. Number two, I think if he does perform it, he performs like maybe 30 seconds to a minute. And then he gets out of there and then he's on to the next thing. We've seen that mad times on Super Bowls with other songs where they'll perform one part of a song to like bridge over to another thing or whatever the case may be. If Kendrick does perform Not Like Us, I 100% see him doing like maybe just like a minute. And then like he doesn't even mention Drake by name, or like he switches up the pedophile bar. Maybe he doesn't even rap that verse. Maybe he raps a different verse off of it. Who knows? But I do think we are going to hear Not Like Us at the Super Bowl for sure. That's my
early thought process on it. I think we might, like you said, we might just get the hook.
Maybe even just the hook.
Yeah.
Or the Joe Budden version, the band.
Oh, for
it
sure.
It is New Orleans.
You just have the band do like a little solo part of it,
like
and
the
then
second, like the instrumental,
the hook, and then it's out, and then
it's
still safe. You still performed it, and you don't have to worry about the backlash of he said this live on national television with all these ad revenue people on our back. Like you don't have to worry about that at that point. So
Yeah.
I do think we are gonna hear it, but it's gonna be heavily edited when we do hear it. That's the first part. The second part is as far as like the set list, like I think we're gonna hear shit that's off that Black Panther soundtrack, because a lot of those songs are like really like big performance songs. You know what I mean? Like the song with Future, whatchamacallit, what's the other single that's off there? DNA. Like I think a lot of those, like we hear those because like they have that like aura of being like those big performance songs. Maybe he throws it back to All Right, but then the other part of this is that we have till February until the Super Bowl. Are we gonna get that long-awaited Kendrick album that's been rumored all this year? And you know what I mean? Like it's kind of the perfect setup and the perfect layup if you wanted to drop right before that. That would be, to me, that would be the perfect time.
I think he's gonna do afterwards.
I would either do it like right before, like sometime in like January, or like right after it.
Yeah.
Like kind of like how Beyonce did with Lemonade. Was it Lemonade?
Or like her
album
last
that she dropped, or was it the self-titled album that she did that with?
I think it was the latest one where it was not the country one, was it? Was it the country one? I think it was, because didn't she have like that Verizon?
Oh yeah, you're right. You're right.
Yeah, it was the country one. She gave us.
You're right.
Yeah, she dropped it like right after. So I think that's kind of, or even like Usher. Like Usher also dropped his album like right after his performance. So I think that would be the smartest move. But what I think is interesting is kind of like what you guys were saying when you were saying like you don't think he has to perform that. I feel like he has an obligation to perform it because that's the whole reason that he's there. So I feel like you said, it's going to be heavily edited. It's going to be more of the hook, and I think it's going to be more focused on like the cultural aspect than it is about being a diss towards Drake. And I agree with your list. Like, I think that it's going to have Humble on there, DNA. I don't know if he's going to do Mad City because he already did that one before, but I would hope so because that's one of his most popular songs. And then I think that the energy will be dipped down just a little bit, but in a good way. Like, you know, sometimes you need a little bit of a lull in the middle. I think he's going to put in Don't Kill My Vibe. And this is just me being optimistic. I hope that maybe like he'll have Jay-Z come out for that one, because Jay-Z's verse on that is just so iconic. And then he'll go into King Kunta because it has lyrics about him being at the top of the game, which is kind of like where people are kind of placing him at the moment. And then maybe like a hit with Rihanna. You know, I think that would just make sense to bring her back. And then I think they're going to do the snippet from Not Like Us and then close out with All Right. That's what I'm thinking, because I think that he's definitely going to put in a whole lot of Black excellence, a lot of like, you know, this is now where I want the culture to be and where I want them to focus on, and like we're going to be okay because now I'm here, kind of a thing. So that's what I'm thinking, but I'm just so surprised that you guys don't think that he has to do Not Like Us. I feel like it's without a doubt you have to do it because that's the main reason that you're there. But I will say, I think it's going to be very difficult for him to find a new way to do it because he already brought out all of LA to the last one. So I think it's going to be confusing. Like, does he then bring out a bunch of New Orleans artists for this one? Like,
it's tough. It's tough because of the situation that all of them are in. Because you could bring Wayne out, because we know that Kendrick, he's documented with saying that he's a Wayne stan.
Mm-hmm.
But speaking of which, they're both behind me in the picture, which is ironic that we're talking about both of them right now. But like, he could do that, but then Wayne is riding with Drake. Like, that's his man's, and we know that he's been riding with him this whole time. So it's like that's tough at that point. That's a weird bridge to cross, like at that point. Because if, let's say Kendrick did bring Wayne out and Wayne just did like one or two songs or whatever, the culture for sure would be ecstatic about it. They'd be like, oh, Kendrick's the GOAT. He went against the grain. He brought Wayne out, even though they got problems with Drake, blah, blah, blah. But the repercussions of that on the back end afterwards, like, if Kendrick and Drake really have the static in real life that they do, that it seems is very prevalent in this beef, then that's going to be an issue. Like, he can't just bring Wayne out and then everything just be all cool after that. Like, again, they've said too much shit about each other at this point for it to just be, oh, like, I brought him out because I respect him. He's a legend. Like, nah, fuck all that. Like, I could still see Drake 100% having a problem with that.
Yeah, I think that it would be more problems for Wayne than anybody. I think that, I don't know, I just have a feeling that, like, it is in Kendrick's character to extend the invite, but I don't think that Wayne will accept it just because of loyalty. Like, I think that it'll be really hard for him. And then I also think that it seems like he always wanted it to be like him headlining. So I don't think that he wants to just be a feature, you know? So I don't know. I think it's tricky. I think this is going to be the Super Bowl that we're not, like, it's going to be hard for us to predict anything because honestly, I didn't think that he would get named for the Super Bowl. Like, I didn't see that coming. I think that it makes sense, but I didn't think that, I just thought for sure it was going to be, you know, a New Orleans native. I didn't expect this at all. So we shall see though. But Marcus, you look like you wanted to say something. What were you thinking?
I just looked up where the Super Bowl is in 2025 and then where it is in 2026. So in 2025, it goes to Vegas. And then in 2026, it's in California for the 60th. So, be that as it may, let's for shits and giggles say, you know, Wayne didn't get, doesn't show up or do anything in Louisiana. Because that's also twofold too. We wanted to see a Hot Boys reunion. Let's understand and Wayne was kind of the only, Birdman couldn't put it together. Wayne had to be the one to put the Hot Boy, you know, reunion. We wanted to see that. So the Super Bowl could have kicked that off. It could be on tour or whatever. They could do it on their own and end it at the Super Bowl next year in Vegas or whatever. Does Drake do California? Mr. Calabasas King? Does he show up for 60? And it's, I mean, Drake.
The funny thing about that question is
Drake shows up. Yes.
You said Drake shows up for 60
yes.
at Super Bowl.
Yeah, if it's in California, yes, absolutely yes. For one, that's 2 years removed. 2, it's not a street situation. 3, Kendrick is the true definition of gang affiliated because he's not a member. He doesn't claim to be a member, but he's got members around him. So he's a true affiliate. You know what I'm saying? So it's not a true street situation where Drake got to watch his back and have, like, it's going to be goons after Drake if he shows up in California. Like, it's not that. Like, especially because he lost. You know what I'm saying? Like, if he won, maybe somebody would trip on him. But nah, like, Kendrick won. He's way up. And it's not a street situation. So, yeah, Drake is fine in California.
I
don't think he has anything to worry about.
I agree.
Yeah.
So does Wayne get any of those? Does Wayne get 25 in Vegas or 60th in California?
I think with Wayne it's tough because I understand why people, because here's the thing. I understand why people wanted Wayne to do the Super Bowl this year 100% because of the location and everything like that. But I really only have 2 issues with that.
Okay.
These are my only 2 issues. The first issue is the only time that they've ever booked a Super Bowl performance as far as an artist based on location was Dr. Dre when they did that Super Bowl a couple of years ago. That's the only time we've ever seen that happen. My second issue is I love Wayne to death, and I think Wayne would have a fire Super Bowl set list if he ever did one. But we also gotta keep it a bean as far as, and this will kind of go into like a different conversation, but we see what these artists kind of got to go through before they even get booked for the Super Bowl. We see how much work kind of has to be put in beforehand. And to me, I think that this Kendrick thing is a special circumstance because of the run in the year that he's had, but it's also because he's at that top spot to where it's not crazy to, like, now that we know that he's booked, it's like, oh, okay. Like, it doesn't sound crazy now that we know in hindsight. At the time when we first heard it, we were like, wow, like Kendrick's getting booked. But when we really think about it, is it really that crazy to think about Kendrick Lamar getting booked for the Super Bowl?
So it's crazy. It's not crazy when you think of the sheer reach and vibe. Like, first of all, I'm like, you can't talk about Kendrick. Like, we went down this road. He's having the monster value, most viral moment song of the last 5 years, possibly, maybe even longer. It is everywhere. It is literally blown up. We're not saying that because it's kind of like how you got here, though.
Yeah.
You know, the McDonald's reference is always a great reference. Billions and billions of burgers served. McDonald's is not the best burger, though. Just because you sell a billion of them bitches don't mean that it's great. It's not the best tasting burger, but they, marketing wise and everything, all the other things that go along with making McDonald's the brand that they are, makes sense. Kendrick getting the Super Bowl makes sense based on the number and just reach. Because if you're looking at numbers, there's no one I can tell you who deserved the Super Bowl over Kendrick numbers wise for 2024. There's that you can put all the ratchet. You can put a Meg, Cardi B, Sexy Red, Glorilla, JT, City Girls, and nothing. It still wouldn't even be a third of what Kendrick did. And that's the most ratchetest show you can put together on a Super Bowl list. Like, and I would love to see it, but it just wouldn't happen because now you also, what you spoke to, I thought you were going to go down a different road when you talk about what the artist has to jump through for the NFL. Let's not forget, it's not a hip hop show. I mean, there are white people who watch the NFL. You have to have some kind of appeal.
The majority of their audience is white. I'm glad you brought that up, Marcus.
Yeah,
that's a good point. Like,
yeah.
And I'm glad you said two things right there. Because I was going to ask Allie about it, like, because it's not a hip hop show. It's the Super Bowl. We have to remember how big this is. You know what I'm saying? That's why I was like, can he even perform Not Like Us there? Because it's like, yeah, that's the reason he's there. But this isn't for a hip hop audience. It's not about beating Drake on the highest level at this point. It's about delivering a Super Bowl worthy performance. So, like, next year, Vegas, it might be Katy Perry or some shit. You know what I'm saying? Or like somebody, like, you know what I mean? Like, who do you think, Allie, like outside of hip hop, would most likely be the next like big person to get a shot like that? Because it can't be hip hop every year. Like,
I'm gonna tell you right now, if the Chiefs go for the 3-peat, you already know where it's going.
Well, Taylor, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And they've already actually kind of rumored that as Kendrick getting that he's gonna bring her out if the Chiefs are in the playoffs and that they're going, she's performing. I don't give a shit. Nobody. That if the Chiefs are in the Super Bowl, Taylor Swift is performing. There's no fucking way that does not happen. So that's the NFL would step in. They might even be like, you know what? We said Kendrick. We've had a holding on the play, flag. He has now been replaced with you know who. They don't even got to say the name. You know who. Like that. Like that. That's not gonna happen. That's not gonna happen. So that's number one. I feel like Taylor Swift definitely is on the top of that list. She's the white Beyonce. That's
I can't lie. That's kind of where my mind was going, is that I'm surprised that Taylor wasn't the pick for this year. But yeah, I can definitely see her being, picked for next year. I can't think of. I'm trying to think if there's anybody else this year who really had a run besides her, though. Like, in music in general. Sabrina Carpenter had a big year this year, so possibly, maybe, if she continues to have, success. But those are the only people that I can think of right now that are really having a moment in culture. And then is there a song that Kendrick and Taylor Swift have done together? I'm trying to remember. I think there is.
I feel like there is one.
There is.
I think there is one, but I can't remember what it is.
Yeah, so I think there might actually be the possibility that she could still pop up at this one for sure. Like, I'm pretty sure that it wasn't too long ago, because I remember Drake making fun of him for it, right? It was like, one of your biggest hits had to be featured with Taylor, and so he was like, you should really thank her or something like that. I can't remember what the heck he had said, specifically.
I don't know if he can bring her out.
Bad Blood.
Bad Blood. Oh, okay. I don't know if he can bring her out. I think that would get him too much heat.
No, he has to.
I don't think he could do it. I think if the NFL made him do it, he would. But I think if he does,
the culture will look at him sideways.
What their reaction is going to be.
They have to, and if they don't, and she does perform at the Super, they'll have to announce her performing before the season starts. They can't do it like right now. We know who's gonna, like, it has to be before you have to get that out of that cannot be a distraction in the season.
Like, she can't just pop out.
You don't think so? I think that's exactly how they would do it. I think that it would just be like out of nowhere. She would just have a quick little set, like a quick, they just do that song together.
Oh, you think it would be a surprise?
Yeah, for sure. I think it would be a surprise.
Honestly, I think that would work out better than announcing
Me
it
too.
out
I think
ahead
there'd be
of time.
a lot of hate if they announce it. I think that people would be, I don't know. I think you kind of have to force it on people.
Because if they just do it real quick and then get her out of there, then it's like, all right, whatever.
But you got to think about it from a business perspective too, though. How much more money can you? Because Super Bowl's already expensive ticket wise. But how much more money could you charge for Super Bowl tickets if people knew ahead of time that Taylor Swift was going to be the halftime? You know what I'm saying? Like, now you can throw an extra stack or two on top of whatever they already cost. They probably are
getting a Taylor Swift Euros performance. Come on. In her tour, the Euros tour performance. That's what you're getting. That's the type of Taylor Swift energy you're going to get.
Probably. Like, if you notice what Rihanna was doing, she was floating all through the air and doing all type of ill shit. So yeah, if you're getting tour quality halftime show, that's an extra $1,000-$2,000 you can put on top of whatever the Super Bowl tickets already cost.
Yeah.
Okay, real quick, because I know we wrapping up. In a perfect world, who would you want to see next in the Super Bowl perform? Anybody, just period. Hip hop, it may, like, I'm gonna go. I got who I want. I'm gonna see what y'all say.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm talking about who would be work catalog wise.
Oh, that's tough for me. I think I have my answer in mind, but I don't know. No, I could say it confidently because he is the catalog now.
No, hold on, before you say it, because I need to write mine down so you don't be like I stole it.
Oh no, that's fine. I feel confident enough about my person anyway.
I have no clue. I feel like everybody that I wanted to see performed so far.
All right, I'm good. I got it written down.
All right.
My person would probably be super guest filled because of like the type of artist that he is. But to be honest with you, Travis Scott at the Super Bowl will go crazy. With his live stage performance and the way he sets it up, Travis would absolutely kill the Super Bowl. Visually, the stage setup, like the way he performs, like the people he would bring out, and it's not even a long set. It's only 15 minutes. Travis would kill the Super Bowl. Easy.
That kind of killed mine, but
what do you think, Marcus?
I want to see Chris Brown.
That's a great pick. What do you mean? That doesn't kill your pick at all.
No. I'm saying, but I think politics get in the way of it.
Oh, well, Travis
yeah,
had a show where like people died at the Astro Festival. So I mean,
so now we got
politics,
people dying
same
domestic
thing.
violence.
Either
Same
way,
thing.
Yeah,
it's
but
gonna be controversial.
I definitely think Chris Brown would be, and let me rephrase, Chris Brown in Vegas just takes it up a notch to me. Like Chris Brown in California means nothing, but Chris Brown in Vegas does. So I definitely want to see Chris Brown.
I would love to see Chris Brown.
And I think catalog wise, it's so much. It's kind of like what you said with Travis. I don't know who doesn't have a Chris Brown song.
Right.
Mine is Wiz Khalifa.
Oh, that's a good one.
So
that's a really good one. That's an underrated one to me.
That's
actually.
an underrated.
That's a super underrated pick to me.
Because I just remember his Cushion Orange Juice show, and I was like, and I know his show has gotten better since then. It had to have, because he's been doing it for way longer than that.
Got a lot of
few years ago. Yeah.
Hey, he I don't mean this that he needs it for he doesn't need it for what am I trying to say? Relevancy purposes. He needs it for numbers purposes. He would need another hit. And I don't mean he needs it in his catalog like he's incapable of make. He needs to become relevant to not core group of fans. Because when you say Wiz, they're gonna say Black and Yellow, they're gonna say Fast and Furious, they're gonna like then it's kind of like it's that Eddie Murphy joke. What have you done for me lately? So if he has something that comes out lately that would be like, oh no, he just did X1, then yes, I could definitely see Wiz.
Before Allie gives us her picks, my only pushback on that is I think you're looking at that from a hip hop perspective. I don't think a Super Bowl audience who's just on a mainstream, you know what I'm saying? Because they've had Super Bowl acts who weren't hot at the time and they just went off all the hits, you know what I'm saying? And it was a banging show. Like we've seen that before. So I think somebody like Wiz has enough hits to where he could do something like that. Like he doesn't necessarily have to, because now if it was like, for the lack of a better term, the hip hop Super Bowl or the urban Super Bowl, then I think I agree with you. But when you're looking at like a mainstream audience, when you listen to mainstream radio, Black and Yellow might come on right now. You know what I'm saying? Like on top 40 radio, like they might play that shit right now, right next to the new shit. You know what I'm saying? So it's like when I look at it like that, I'm like, I think Wiz would be perfect, damn near, and Vegas too. That's the same thing. He's kind of got that party turn up vibe. And you can smoke. So there you go.
And we get to see Juicy J on stage too.
Man, what?
Yeah. That would be lit. Yeah. Who you got, Alex?
Yeah, Alex, who's your pick?
I have no idea, guys. Like honestly, I feel like I always wanted to see Beyonce, and she already did it, and then Rihanna did it. Like I can't really think of anybody who I think would be a crazy good performer. Like I was thinking, like no, not even. I was thinking like maybe Mariah, but I don't think she's dancing. She's not doing. What they need is like someone who's going to go all out. So I can't think of anybody right now who I could really say would do that. I mean, if Cardi had freaking dropped the album, and if she does in the future, maybe they would consider Cardi. Because like she could easily bring out like Bruno Mars again, and they love them some Bruno Mars. He already did one. So I don't know. I think that one's hard for me. I can't really pinpoint it, to be honest. Sorry, guys.
Who would never get a Super Bowl?
Never
get a Super Bowl.
I don't think they let.
Did you say Sexy Red?
I don't think they let her up there.
No, she just literally yesterday sold out the Enterprise Center, which is our biggest arena where the Blues play. 22,000 plus seats. Brought out Boosie, brought out Gucci Man, Huncho, somebody who I don't even know. She brought it was more people that she brought out that was at than it was at the BET Awards or the VMAs or some shit, whatever was going on. But she brought the city out and sold it out. Like it was a sold out show.
You mentioned somebody who I think would never get a Super Bowl and I think would ask and be dead ass serious about it. Gucci Mane would 100% ask to be in the Super Bowl, and he would be one dead ass serious about it. Nah, nigga, look at my catalog, nigga.
Gucci
He would never though. That would never happen. And I love Gucci Mane. So I kind of even hate to say that, but
he couldn't get it before T.I.
Nah, never.
So that's why so
T.I. couldn't get it before Outkast.
Yeah, I was gonna say that I think Outkast is the only group out of Atlanta as of today that's getting a Super Bowl performance.
If
I don't think nobody else is not Super Bowl level. Nah.
I swear to God, I would stop. I promise you, I would stop being an Outkast fan if fucking if 3,003 Stacks came to the Super Bowl and played that flute shit. I promise you, bro. I would.
What if he played the anthem on the flute? And then what if he?
That would be the biggest troll ever,
bro. If he brought that, if he was not Andre 3 Stacks and he brought that damn flute, I'd rather that you bring fucking Lizzo out to play the flute than for you to fucking touch that flute.
Nah, what if they announce it's Outkast and then it's just 3 Stacks with the flute and Big Boy's just rapping all that Outkast lyrics?
Hell no.
Hell no.
I like the way you move.
I feel like that was crazy.
Yo.
Man, that is hilarious.
So Shane, who you got who's never getting a Super Bowl?
Never.
Never.
You know who instantly popped into my mind was Lil Durk.
No. You know what? No,
like he's big, right? Like he's a big artist, and I feel like his trajectory is still going up. Like
after that J. Cole song, can't say that.
The potential to be mainstream is drilly as he is, and all of that stuff. That's not necessarily the singles. The singles be on some like sing-songy auto-tune shit a lot of the time. So that shit works, especially today. You know what I'm saying? So, but because he is Lil Durk, and we know he's really about the shit that he talks about in all them other songs, he ain't, nah. That ain't.
What about NLE Chopper?
Nope.
NLE Chopper will be on the Super Bowl before Lil Durk. Absolutely.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. Well, free him. NBA Youngboy.
Never.
Fuck out of here.
I hope not. Out of all those songs, like what?
Fuck out of here.
Hell no.
Never.
I ain't gonna lie. I think Youngboy takes the top of the never list.
Yeah.
I think he 100% takes the top of the never list.
I can't even.
Yeah, no, that's not happening.
Absolutely not.
I could just, remember when the playoffs come around, they was like, oh, I don't give a fuck what it is. They always say whatever team in 6, and they got the do-rag and the cigarette. I can see Youngboy, that's how they announced that nigga. And they be like, yo, you gonna perform at the Super Bowl? If that's what the motherfucker said I'm doing, that's what I'm doing. Like,
God, he's horrible.
Nah, I hope that we didn't just put that into the air. Watch. One of these days, this might.
He got,
Hov wouldn't do us like that, man.
He would never.
No.
Hov wouldn't do us like that.
But how long does Hov have to continue? Like, what is the partnership? Like, how long?
I think he only has a few more years.
Okay.
And then it goes to, oh my God, we're gonna get the.
I'm telling you, these next couple of years, we gotta eat this hip hop shit up, because after that.
Honestly, I can't lie. I was thinking like when they do give back the reins, like I really think country music is gonna try and just eliminate all of that history.
Man, what?
They're gonna go crazy. I already know it.
All right, we're done with that little experiment. That was fun while it lasted.
Mm-hmm.
We gave them their Super Bowl reparations.
They're pulling Garth Brooks right the fuck out.
Yeah.
Man, what?
Right.
Smiling all weird.
Like a rhinestone cow.
Has Justin Bieber done the Super Bowl yet?
Who, Garth Brooks?
No, Justin Bieber.
I don't know if Justin looked like he's in the right
No.
shape to be.
I was gonna say, is his face still
Yeah.
going through Bell's palsy right now, or what's his situation?
No,
I
that's
think
a
that
real-
I mean
That's
that I
fucked
think
up.
he
I shouldn't lie with
is.
that.
Yeah, I
Is
think
he
he
still?
I think he is. And
Because I know
even
it was
if he
bad for a
wasn't,
minute. Like I think his whole like half of his face was like straight up paralyzed at one point. I don't think it's like that at this point, but it's still it don't look all the way like how it used to. I'll just say it that way. I'm
he
trying
looks
to,
real
you know
weak
what I mean?
now.
Is it bad to the point where he can't record?
I don't think so. I think that during that time he probably wasn't recording, but I think he had already dropped an album, so it was fine. But yeah, I think that he would have to start to look a little bit healthier, because even if he's not going through like the being paralyzed, he just looks so weak right now. Like he looks so skinny.
Yeah.
I don't know if he'd have the energy to actually, do a full like something super energetic. And then also, don't get me wrong, I think that he has a lot of hits, but I think that he would have to have something like in the atmosphere at the time, like something that actually really picked up. I don't know if we're gonna really see that from him in the future. We'll see. I mean, he has the money to do it, but it doesn't seem like that's his concern.
Yeah.
We shall see.
Oh, you pulled it up.
What's
Okay.
Where's the title? We can't see anything. Where is it?
Oh, I was just pulling up the picture just so that you can see what he looks like recent.
Yeah, he looks a little bit healthier than the last time I saw him on Instagram. He was looking a little weak
rough.
on Instagram. Yeah, a little rough. So hopefully, shout out to him and prayers up to him, because
Hey, if Thug gets out, maybe he could get it.
Oh my god. I don't know. If it ever is like in Atlanta, I think that'll be really interesting to see how many people are going to be vying for this spot, because there's so many Atlanta artists.
You know, everyone's gonna want Future to do it.
It's
gonna be. They're gonna want Future to do it. It's gonna be
That's another no. That's actually a huge no.
He would
Because
never.
Russell Wilson is in the NFL and Sierra is his girl. There's no way Future ever performs at the halftime.
You don't think so?
Never.
I don't know if he got that much of a pull.
Yeah, he does. I think so.
So here's the thing, Russell.
He's never done anything but
like
represent the NFL in a positive way and all of that. Like he's been a model, role model for them. Like I think they would be like, yeah, we got you on this. Like we're not going to let you.
I think the NFL would do the exact opposite, and they would the same way they would capitalize on the Taylor Swift shit, and well, shit. If Russell's team is in the Super Bowl and we have Future performing, imagine the views. Like I feel the same. Yeah.
I'm with Shane on this one. I don't see them doing that.
Russell, then I don't see it being Russell's choice, because Russell got the pull. I see them saying no.
That is his choice. I think they would respect him. They would respect him asking if that were the case. Like if he somehow got wind, you know what I'm saying, that hey, we're thinking about having Future at the halftime. I think he could probably make the right calls and be like, yo, can we did that? Like, come on. Like, I don't need a bunch of football emojis or what was his shit? I don't know. Like, they was trolling this nigga with emojis. Like, you know what I'm saying? They was trolling Future with the football emojis when Russell first got with Sierra. And then they was trolling Russell and Sierra somehow with something that represents Future. I don't remember. But he's like, I don't need that on my Instagram again, y'all. Can we just not do this, please? Like, I think they'd be like, you know what? We got you. Don't even worry about it. Especially if his team was going to be one of the runners for the actual trophy. Nah, you can't have Future there. That's crazy.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, he's like one of their poster boys. So
yeah, you know what I'm saying? I think they would look at it.
Okay, so
I wanted them to lose.
I got a question. You only have two choices. You have what you said with Future or Boosie.
At the Super Bowl?
Super Bowl. Boosie.
I think in that case, then they tell Russell, hey, bro, we got to have Future. But
Ain't no way
They
Boosie coming up
absolutely
here.
do not want
They
Boosie.
can't have Boosie. Boosie, no.
I think Boosie would be like a feature to like. I think somebody would bring him on as a guest, but hell no,
I'm
headlining.
talking about Boosie
They'd
headline.
have to sneak Boosie
Nah.
out with a fucking hoodie on. Like, if niggas will be on alert. Nigga, is that little Boosie?
Niggas will pull Russell Westbrook to the side and be, or Russell Wilson to the side and be like, listen, fam, like, we know that it's going into this direction, but this is also the direction that they want to go in. There's no way we can do that. You know that, right?
Right.
Like, this is Boozy we're talking about, okay? So
If
we
you-
got to kind of eat that on the back end for future a little bit, but it's either that or this.
I
It's
think
not
they're
even
gonna.
Worry about him dissing all of the gay viewers in the audience or something. We can't have this. Like,
Right.
I also believe that it'd be like a Kevin Gates situation where like the interviews would be more intriguing than the show. Everything leading up to the Super Bowl performance that you talk to the headliner, the press conferences, the interviews, the sponsor, like having that level of Boosie and with a microphone, we would get more gems dropped than Snoop at the Olympics.
And see, with Future, you wouldn't have to worry about none of that because he doesn't even do interviews.
So, man, wow, you ain't never lied there. You ain't never lied. Like then he'd be like a little icon with the glasses and the hat and just that.
You would just see him walking around places, and then he'd pop up on stage, and then just see him walking around places, and that's it. Maybe a club performance, and maybe that's about it, though. Boozy, though, talk shows, podcast, a whole DJ Vlad interview before the Super Bowl. No way.
Yeah.
Running it up. But all right, guys, I think that we've exhausted this topic. Thank you, everybody at home, for watching. Remember, this is Bar Exam, and we have a new episode every single Monday for you guys on the Ethos Media Network YouTube page. But we also have very candid, very interesting conversations on the Ethos Media Network Patreon page. So check us out over there as well. But we will see you guys on the next one. This is Bar Exam. Bye, guys.